got to have 700 feet. You got to have 800 feet in more or less one direction. I mean, you can zigzag a little bit. You can do it. Some guys do 500. Some guys say they do 200, and it works. I think it's sort of ground dependent. But anyway, I didn't want to do that. I didn't really have the land for it, and my land slopes and all this stuff. So anyway, I was looking for other things. And one that came up and kept coming up, flags, pennants, K9AY loops. I decided to try the K9AY. It's basically, all you need is one fixed support to get this thing up. It's more or less like a triangle. I think it's 85 feet in diameter, completely in diameter. You only need one support about 20 feet high, so that was real attractive. That's easy. You can make it so it switches into two directions, but I made mine just for one direction. I just want to see if the thing worked. All right. So I fed it with some 75 ohm line that I had laying around because it's low loss. And you make a little 9-to-1 transformer here. Feed one side. This is the side you're listening, so signals coming in here, you can hear. And it rejects the signals off the back end. So I was rejecting everything that was coming from the north. And on the sides, of course, the side is really good at that. And I was just hearing what was coming from the south. This side is terminated. Just a 4-foot piece of copper pipe, 1-inch copper pipe, pounded into the ground, solder a wire on there. I use Tom Dubek's Outtech antenna analyzer to find out what the impedance of this wire was, along with the ground, and so that's what I used for a resistor. I think it was around 170 ohms, 180 ohms in that region on top band.
So what's it, 25 feet down to 4 feet or something?
Yeah, well actually it's not real important how far off the ground. It's just off the ground. Mine's maybe that far off the ground.
No.
And it survived the windstorm. I was pleased with that too. So copper pipe right here. That's your ground. And then your resistor goes in here, okay? And I made actually two.
In series with it, right?
In series.
In series.
And I made two. I made one for 80 and one for 160, and I just put the resistors in film canisters with some banana plugs. So it's manual, but I go out there and change them. There's some kits on the internet that I found you can do it all electronically, because guys are doing 4 squares of these things. Or if you picture an egg beater, you got one triangle going this way, and one triangle going that way, and so you can switch into all 4 directions very quickly. I found it to just, the bottom line is very effective. It was better than the magnetic loop I'd been running.
Quieter?
Quieter, much quieter, better front to back, better side to side.
Did you put a preamp on it?
No, it doesn't need a preamp. And my magnetic loop did.
Yeah.
It was plenty. In fact, I use the attenuation on my K3 a lot. There's a beverage port on my K3. I go into it with the 75 ohm line. I put a few ferrite beads on there because some guys online had talked about picking up stray RF on the feed line. I don't think I had trouble with that. I didn't really notice a difference with the beads and without.
Explain that resistor and ground again.
The resistor
is in series.
It's in series. It's in series with this leg. It goes to the resistor in the little film canister, and then out of the film canister right to the 4-foot piece of copper.
Because right now you've got it drawn in parallel or something.
It's in series.
And why don't you redraw that just to show that it's in series with the ground wire? There you go. There's an eraser right there.
Perfectionist here.
Now, you change resistors to change band?
Yes, it's a little better. The signal-to-noise ratio is a little better. I found the impedance of this whole system was like around 320 ohms or something on 80. So I just thought, well, what the heck, I'll try it. It's easy. You just got the film canisters. So I put the film canisters on a piece of PVC here. That's where these are bare ends here. And all I did was put a, what do you call it, a little insulator here, and tied it off, and a little insulator here, and a piece of PVC pipe with a little bit of string. in case a big branch did come down on it, the strings would pop and kind of like a fuse.
Now, the center conductor goes to one side and the shield goes to the ground side?
Yes. Yep. It works. And I saw some other plans that guys had made. I talked about the 4-square, so you can do all 4 directions very quickly. And who is it? Array Solutions, I think, makes a kit. It's expensive though. It's like $500. You know, it sits on your desk. It's got, you can change resistances. It's got 5 different resistors in the box, and it's got little LEDs to tell you which direction you're listening to. And I think it may have a built-in preamp, but I really didn't need it. In fact, the built-in preamp in my K3 just made it too darn noisy.
How did you make the 9-to-1?
I used a ferrite. No, what did I use? Tom, Amadon. What was that part number you gave?
It was a binocular core.
Binocular core. I
Yeah.
wound it myself, and I also checked the impedance of the core so that it matched the 75 ohm line as I was doing it,
Yeah.
just to really tweak it.
So this is only for receive?
Only for receive, no transmit.
Now, what bands do you use it for?
80 and 160, but it also works on 40.
Ah. So you're happy with it?
I'm very happy with it. Really, really happy with it. And it's very good at rejecting the other, you know, if
Yeah,
you're just
that's
out
really
generally
important.
rag chewing, I have a shunt-fed tower, so it kind of transmits in all directions at the same time. It's very good at not hearing people who are calling me or, you know, whatever. So I think I'll go to the trouble of making a 4-square. And I heard that a 4-square of 4 squares of this design, some people have done that. So you would picture, you know, one triangle and then another triangle. Well, how about 4 of those? 4 sets of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, all with the switching arrangement. Some guys have done that and they say it's just as effective as a 1,000-foot beverage. Signal to noise ratio, because that's really what's important on the low
A real
bands.
4-square you can transmit, right?
Yeah.